this week's Cooking the Books is a super veggie passata that I'm making. So I decided it'd be a really nice idea to make a really vegetable packed tomato sauce that I can freeze in batches and always have some fresh homemade sauce available. So I'm just going to be doing it from this book, which is Eat Well for Less, Quick and Easy Meals. And this is the recipe. So I've decided to do this far from perfect mum style. So you're supposed to have fresh onions, fresh celery, fresh carrots and fresh courgettes. What I've decided to do is I have this in my freezer. This is a classic vegetable mix and it is carrots, onions and celery. And I've got chopped garlic and stuff. So this bag I think cost me about £1 or maybe a little bit more than £1. It's not a lot. It's all fully chopped for you. Makes life a lot easier and quicker as well. And I'm all about quick healthy dinners. So I'm using that. I already had a fresh courgette, so I'm going to chop that up and stick it in. So we need 2 tins of tomatoes, garlic, your vegetables, some oregano and some tomato puree and some salt and pepper for this recipe. And I'm going to show you how we make it. I'm just going to chop this kind of roughly. It's all going to get blitzed up, so I'm not going to try and make it look nice or pretty or anything like that. I'm just going to chop it into small enough pieces that it cooks quickly down, and that's about it really. Dropping a bit. And that will be that for the courgette. And then I'm going to start sweating down the onions, carrot and celery mix. Seems like quite a simple recipe, to be honest. I mean, I suppose they usually are, aren't they? But that's it, courgette done. There is supposed to be 2 courgettes, but I've only got 1, so never mind. Just going to put some olive oil in the pan, just to sweat all those vegetables down. Now I'm just going to put the whole bag of this in. I think as it's already opened, I've probably used a little bit of it already. But I would use a whole bag regardless. I'll get it out. And frozen vegetables don't take too long to sweat down. It's it being in a lump that's the problem. I'm going to keep that on a lower heat whilst we break this up. So as it starts to warm up, you can just break the corners off basically, or just kind of get a little bit off like that. This is not the easiest way to do it. It's easier to bash it while it's in the bag, which I forgot to do because I'm a div. But it will soon defrost anyway and be absolutely fine. Sugar. It'll be fine. Right, I'm just going to leave that for a couple of minutes to defrost. See, it soon starts breaking down. It's literally been about 90 seconds since I left it. Going to give that another minute or so. Okay, so now as you can see, the big lumps are out, so I'm just going to turn this heat up and start sweating it out a little bit now. Get the water out from the vegetables. Okay, that is sweating down nicely, so it's been a few minutes. I'm just going to add in the garlic and the courgettes. So I've got to guess what 4 garlic cloves looks like. Yep, I think that'll do. Okay, so that's all in. Just gonna sweat that down for a few more minutes. Probably should have cut the courgette a little bit smaller. It does say to obviously have all your whole vegetables, cut them and then blend them into small chunks, but nah. I can't always follow a recipe, guys, sorry, sometimes I just have to do it in my own way. I like to try and make my life a little bit easier. So I know that these courgettes will cook in the tomatoes in the time, so I'm not going to worry too much about them not sweating down too much now. The rest of the veg, I know, sweated down quite nicely. And at the end of the day, this is all going to be blitzed up anyway, so it's not like you're going to be eating crunchy vegetables. So we're going to put in half a teaspoon of oregano. And 1 teaspoon of puree. And then you just stir that up, stir it in, mix it up. Okay, so I feel like that's mixed in really nicely. I'm just going to add in the tin of tomatoes now. Add in 2 tins of tomatoes, 400 gram tins. We're going to bring it to the boil. So stirring all that in and turn that heat up a tiny little bit just so it boils. I've also put some water on to boil as well because I'm going to do some pasta. I'm going to do this for tea. So making a sauce to go with some pasta, and I'm going to add in some smoked sausage as well, just for a bit of added flavour. So now that is boiling, I'm just going to turn it down to a simmer and leave for 10 minutes. This is what it is looking like 8 minutes into our 10 minute simmer. I think this is going to be a really, really thick sauce. I wonder if it's going to need a bit of water or something to loosen it up. I'm just about to throw the pasta in as well because I figured by the time this finishes cooking and it cools down a little bit before I blend it, then the pasta will probably be ready. So I'm just going to give that the extra couple of minutes it needs. Okay, so the 8 minutes is up. We have got a very thick looking sauce here because it does say to leave it uncovered. So obviously wants it to thicken up. So I'm just going to see what it looks like when I blend it. Like I said, I will leave this to cool down before I start blending it up because I don't have a hand blender. And if you have a, what's it called? A food processor, you don't want to put boiling hot liquid in it. So I'm just going to turn that heat off and let it sit for a little while. Right, before I do that, I'm going to add some salt and pepper. Always forget to add the salt and pepper. When I have to do it at the end, I just always forget. If I do it earlier in the recipe, I never forget. Right, so that's the salt and pepper for the seasoning. Right, now I'm going to leave it. Okay, so I'm just over here. I've got a fan over here. I've got my blender. I'm just going to put the first batch in. It's still boiling hot. I'm still not going to blend it yet. But it's going to cool down quicker if it's not in a hot pan. So I'm just going to put half in. And I'm just going to leave it there with the fan blowing over it, and hopefully it'll cool down what's in this one as well. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a try blending it now and hope it's not too hot. Okay, lid's in. I'm sure it needs liquid, to be honest. Let's have a look. What do you think? And it's not a hidden veg. Honestly, I thought it'd be like a hidden veg. I'm going to put a little bit of liquid in there. I'm going to put just a little bit in. No, maybe that's too much. I don't know. Alright. Try this again. Oh, it's really lumpy. Yeah, I don't know what the kids are going to think of the lumpy sauce. I don't know what to do now. Anyway, I suppose that's what we've got. We're going to have to give it a try. So I'm going to bag some up to freeze, and then I'm going to blitz the rest of it. See, as you can see, it's really thick and gloopy. Just wonder if I can get 2 portions out of that, or just 1. Okay. Just going to leave those bags there to cool, and I'm going to get the rest of this in here. To be honest, it's just as thick and lumpy as it was before. So I think we're just going to have to make do with it's a lumpy sauce. So anyway, I'm going to just blitz this again, and I'm going to dish up for you. Here it is. Gonna see what everybody thinks of it. So this is what we have. This was Leon's plate. He has eaten everything, just left a bit of the sauce. He said it was nice. He said it was very tomatoey. He said he would eat it again, but the predominant flavour was just tomatoes. Daisy took one mouthful and refused to eat any of it. She did, however, pick off the sausage that I put on the top. She didn't like the texture or the taste and then just refused to eat all of it. But she's a bit funny with pasta, to be fair. So Amelia doesn't eat pasta. I mean, she's gluten-free, so she can't eat this pasta anyway, but she just doesn't like pasta. She tried a bit of the sauce. She said it was quite nice. She felt like it needed a bit more salt. She said, but it's not much of a secret sauce, is it? And I was like, no, because I just always assumed like these vegetable pasta sauces were like hidden vegetables, so you can't see them and you can't taste them. But I mean, you can see it's very thick, it's very bitty, the texture is not great. I'm not allowed to eat tomatoes at the moment. I'm allowed a pea-sized amount of tomato, that is it. So I did have a pea-sized amount. All I could taste was tomatoes and vegetables. It was very strong on the vegetables as well, but I couldn't taste any herbs, I couldn't taste any seasoning, and the texture was very strange. So, but you can't get a lot from a pea-sized amount, and I do apologise for not being able to have it more myself, but this is why obviously I've got the kids' opinions as well. This whole tomato allergy is quite new to me, so dealing with it has been a little bit weird. But I mean, tomato sauce is something we all have, isn't it, and buy and make and all this sort of stuff. So I just wanted to do something that would be useful, and like I said, I'm bagging all this up and putting it in my freezer as well, so I've got fresh sauce. I think I'm going to water it down a little bit, either with some actual passata or maybe some chicken stock or something, I don't know, but I think it's just too thick and gloopy as it is. But it'd be quite good for more pasta sauce, or maybe for a bolognese as well. So anyway, that's what we all thought of that, and I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.